Distinguished dignitaries, honorable guests, and members of the media, a very good morning to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of NIIT Learning Systems Limited, we extend a very warm and hearty welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for gathering so early in the morning today. Post the reorganization plan announced earlier, we are here to commemorate this joyous and significant milestone of the listing ceremony of NIIT Learning Systems Limited in the August portals of the BSE. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin with the proceedings, I request everyone to kindly stand in attention for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. Request everyone to kindly take in your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly I would like to share a short corporate video that eulogizes this journey, spirit and ethos of NIIT Learning Systems Limited. May I request the AV team to play the same. Thank you.
Since 1981, NIIT Limited has grown to become a global leader in learning and talent development. Now we're ready for our next big milestone. NIIT's Corporate Learning Group, which is a leader in global managed learning services and solutions, is now ready to take flight on its own as NIIT Learning Systems Limited and will be doing business as NIIT Managed Training Services. At NIIT Managed Training Services, we've spent the past 4 decades helping organizations transform and build learning ecosystems that help them adapt and respond with agility. Our managed learning services are built to increase the value of learning, both for your employees and your business. On the one hand, we help employees with elevated learning experiences and improved engagement aligned with performance and growth. On the other, we help organizations align learning strategy with business strategy and goals for tangible business impact. So whether it's building skills and future-proofing your workforce, or discovering how generative AI can be a game changer in learning, we're at the forefront of cutting-edge learning and development. Our comprehensive, high-impact managed learning solutions weave together the best of learning theory, technology, operations, and services to enable a thriving workforce. The NIIT MTS suite of managed training services includes custom content and curriculum design, learning delivery, learning administration, strategic sourcing, learning technology, and L&D consulting services. We also offer specialized solutions including immersive learning, customer education, talent pipeline as a service, diversity, equity, and inclusion training, digital and IT training, as well as leadership and professional development services. Fortune and Global 500 companies rely on NIIT's managed learning solutions and services to optimize costs, streamline learning operations, elevate learner experience, modernize learning technology, realize tangible business goals, and transform learning to deliver on business and organizational goals. Our transformative and pioneering work in learning and development has earned us over 400 industry recognitions and awards for excellence in learning. With a Net Promoter Score of 9 on 10 and a 100% renewal rate, the world's best-run learning functions across 30 countries trust NIIT with their learning and talent. Discover how we're changing the way the world learns for the better.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure the corporate film would have given you an idea, but let me describe NLSL in a few words. As you're aware, the idea of NIIT was born on a rainy monsoon evening in the city of Mumbai way back in 1981. Two engineering graduates from the Indian Institute of Technology, New Delhi, were envisioning the future of information technology training and founded a company that is now considered the crucible of India's IT revolution. NIIT Learning Systems Limited, NLSL, has been offering managed training services to Fortune 1000 corporations across North America and Europe. The business has over 80 global customers that it serves and gives services in over 30 countries. With a team of over 2,400 world-class learning professionals, it has won over 400 industry awards and is ranked among the top 5 learning outsourcing companies worldwide. NLSL, ladies and gentlemen, serves industries such as technology and telecom, global consulting and professional services, life sciences and healthcare, energy and commodities, aerospace and aviation, BFSI, manufacturing, industrial, consumer products and retail, humanitarian and NGO, real estate and automotive. Trusted by the world's leading companies, NLSL provides high-impact managed learning solutions that weave together the best of learning theory, technology, operations, and services to enable a thriving workforce. NLSL's goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to help leading companies transform their learning ecosystems while improving the business value of learning. Ladies and gentlemen, today on this very, very momentous occasion, we would like to welcome the various distinguished dignitaries who joined us today with a bouquet of flowers. So please help me in welcoming on stage Mr. Rajendra Singh Pawar, co-founder, NIIT and chairman, NIIT Learning Systems Limited, NLSL. Very, very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you, sir. We now request Mr. Vijay K. Tharani, co-founder, NIIT, and Vice Chairman and Managing Director, NLSL, to please come forward. Very, very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you, sir. We now request Mr. P. Rajendran, co-founder, NIIT, and Joint Managing Director, to please come forward. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you, sir. We now request Mr. Sapnesh Lala, Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer, NLSL, to please come forward. Thank you, sir. It gives me immense pleasure now to invite on stage Ms. Kamala K., Chief Regulatory Officer, BSE. Very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now mark an auspicious beginning to this significant occasion with the lighting of the traditional ceremonial lamp. I request the following dignitaries to please gather next to the lamp lighting ceremony. I request Mr. Kamala K, Chief Regulatory Officer, BSE, to please come forward. I request Mr. Rajendran, Mr. Vijay, Mr. P. Rajendran, Mr. Rajendra Singh Pawar, Mr. Sapnesh Lala, Mr. Sanjay Mal, Chief Financial Officer, NLSL, and Mr. Deepak Bansal, Company Secretary, NLSL, to please come forward.
Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah. Namaste. Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah. Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah.
Thank you so much for doing the honors, lighting the traditional ceremonial lamp. And with that, may I request Mr. Rajendra Singh Pawar to please come forward and make the opening remark. Let's have a huge round of applause for him, please. Very, very warm welcome to you, sir.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. This morning we were talking about the significance of being in this very special building, and I was reminded of being in another very special location when we launched NIIT during the Computer Society Convention in Chennai. At that time we said that NIIT was an idea whose time had come. I'm going back to that very emotional moment because today is another moment when we say that NLSL is an idea whose time has come. This is the third listing of a company in the NIIT family since inception. The company was formed in December 81, technically started in 82, and 93 we listed NIIT Limited, and almost a similar amount of time elapsed before we created the second entity, which was NIIT Technologies in 2004. And here we are on this very moment, looking at the third entity that we're listing, which is NIIT Learning Systems Limited. At each of these moments, we were at a point when we felt that the organization was reaching a point of maturity where another part of the organization had become strong enough, big enough, competent enough to stand on its own, to chart its own path, because the business had reached a point where it had identified a new space for its activities, a new set of customers who it had to be more focused on, a set of geographies that was special, and of course underlying capabilities had been created to take on this path of being accountable to a set of shareholders who valued that part of the activity and that part of the business. So today's event marks the birth of what was earlier the Corporate Learning Group, CLG, as NIIT Learning Systems Limited, because it deals with a very different market. It deals with the Fortune 1000 and Global 500 companies. It deals with the new business model, which is learning outsourcing, which has been in the making for a decade and more, and Vijay will talk about that. It deals with offerings which are distinctive and different from where we started as things evolved. And of course, all along, being centered around something we hold value and as valuable as NIIT, and Rajendran, my colleague, will speak about what stays the same. And of course, eventually, we are here today with this entity led by Sapnesh, pretty much the creator of this line of business, who will talk about what exactly is NLSL doing. So it's this evolution, to me, is a very special moment. And I'm delighted that all of you could be here. We wanted a few other people to be here, but exigencies make it possible for whoever can come to be here. So far as NLSL is concerned, it is now at a point, as I mentioned, where it's in a position to chart its own career and its own path and its own trajectory. And the creation of a new entity gives it the freedom, the speed it needs, and of course it has the capital to accelerate its path, to use all the competencies that have been built over these 4 decades, and to then really be in a position to move faster, go higher, and do better and better in its focused approach to serve the new markets, the new segments with the new offerings it has. So very, very grateful that all of you could be here with us at this very special moment for us, which marks, in a sense, a new beginning for a certain part of this enterprise which takes wings today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such warm remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to now invite on stage Mr. Vijay K. Thadani. Let's give a huge round of applause for him, please.
Good morning. Raji talked about the nostalgic moment we are in. About 2 kilometers away is where the first NIIT center came up in 1982. And I was just reflecting on what has been the journey of NIIT. Every time there has been a crisis, volatility, or a massive change, there has been a need to reskill people, skill people, reskill people, and I think NIIT has stood up to meeting those requirements. If I go back to the very first day, we had 600,000 unemployed graduates in the country, but there were 250,000 jobs in those days, what was called computers. That led to creation of NIIT, and 10 years later, when the country was battling with a foreign exchange crisis, we went out looking for whether our skills or our capabilities could be used to monetize and create foreign exchange, which was the birth of the Corporate Learning Group as we know today. We started by creating a content creation capability in India on an offshore basis, very similar to offshore software development. And then the journey has been long. And then during the Lehman crisis, once again, the issue was, what does the world need at this point of time? And we said we had built 3 core competencies of pedagogy, which is creating quality learning materials, a distributed education methodology, and building sustainable partnerships. And through this, we've been running training as a business. Can we help our organizations run their training as a business within their organizations? That is the birth of Managed Training Services. And since then, Sapnesh and team who created this, Sapnesh, Salesh, DJ, who are amongst us here, we got our first MTS customer in 2009. We had 10 in 2013. We had 50 in 2019, and we have 80 in 2023. It's been a great journey with Fortune 1000 companies entrusting us with their L&D function, parts or whole of it, so that we can help them run training as a business within their businesses. And therefore, training delivers outcomes and creates value for the organization, which is measurable. We now reached the number 5 position in the world, and from now to number 1 is a steep climb. There is once again a great opportunity with the massive change which is taking place in the environment, high volatility. Not only the work is changing, but the workplace is changing. There is the invasion, I would call it invasion of AI, generative AI, and all these are going to massively change learning. And we are on the cusp of an opportunity using our capability and track record to take advantage of that. And that led to the thought that NLSL requires an undivided attention, a focus, and agility to cast its own path. That led to the demerger, the story that started on 28th of January 2022, and very much in a clockwork way that has resulted in where we are standing today on 8th of August 2023. This has been a long journey. Lots of you have contributed. I would say all of you have contributed in one form or the other, and many others who are not in the room have also done so. But it's a place which now gets us ready to move on to the next phase and give it the independent management focus that it deserves, get some more partners and companies from outside. We've been very successful with some of the inorganic initiatives we took, and those have become very well absorbed in the company. And we are looking forward to this journey, and we look forward to having you with us on this very interesting journey that we are casting together. We have managed to demerge the company, and demerging the company has assets and people who are the real assets. And how the people transition, as well as the values and culture transition will happen, is the next part of this journey, which my colleague Rajendran will talk to us about. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming on stage Mr. P. Rajendran, who's going to tell you more about the values and culture of our company. Let's give a warm welcome to him, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy to be here with all of you at BSE. Raji and Vijay just took us through the first 41 years of our life. Exciting journey of the NIIT group. And now, at this momentous occasion of listing of NIIT Managed Training Services. This great journey happened thanks to the people at NIIT, the NIITians, as we call them. The foundational values of NIIT were defined by the early NIITians in 3 key principles. Number 1, NIIT's people, which led to creating an environment of positive regard for each one of us, with learning, thinking, and innovation driving the ability for people to grow in their careers. Number 2, NIIT is quality and value to our stakeholders, who experience superior returns when they engage with NIIT, and our demonstration of promise of meeting every commitment which we make to the customers, all stakeholders, at any cost. Number 3, NIIT is a mission. Our zeal to continuously pioneer the deployment of technology to make effective impact on the beneficiaries in the society. NIITians have imbibed these core values, demonstrated them at work, and thus have helped build the NIIT culture and brand much beyond the balance sheet and the P&L. As NLSL takes wings on its own journey, these core values and governance practiced at NIIT continues uninterrupted in NLSL. Over 2,500 regular NIITians who deliver the promise to our esteemed clients worldwide, who are physically based in over 15 countries. They represent 35 nationalities, have an average age under 35, a gender diversity of 45% women and 55% men. The strong core of NIIT and MTS should help the company grow sustainably in the years ahead. Congratulations to everyone in NIIT MTS for reaching this milestone, and our gratitude to all our stakeholders who participated in the journey and allowed us to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer, NIIT Learning Systems Limited, Mr. Sapnesh Lala, to please come forward.
I'm so thrilled that all of you could join us. It's not every day that a management team gets an opportunity to access public markets. Capital markets are known to create opportunities that are life-changing, not just for the management teams, but also for the customers they serve. They also create great responsibilities. Responsibility of ensuring that we aspire to do what we do in a responsible and compliant manner. I want to assure you that the management team at NIIT Learning Systems Limited is running the business with an aspiration to be a leader and to execute responsibly. Thanks for coming. Look, we have a phenomenal opportunity in front of us. The global learning market is approximately $400 billion in size and value. Less than about 10% of it has been penetrated by way of outsourcing. So we have almost $400 million, $400 billion, that's with a B, to capture. And we have been growing faster than our competitors. We are adding more customers than anyone else can. We are profitable, and we are growing our margins. So we have what it takes to have an ambition to aspire. And as we start our journey today, I think this aspiration is going to only lead us to try and become the world leader in managed training services. There are multiple transformations that are affecting corporations, especially large corporations today. What started with digital transformation, moving on to decarbonization, and now, more importantly, with AI,
is going to fundamentally change the skills and the talent that is needed to do business. We know most of the $400 billion that I talked about is consumed through internal learning organizations at our customers. We know the rate of change of technology and skills is so rapid that most internal teams are finding themselves inadequate to be able to do justice and rapidly change the talent needs and service the talent needs as organizations start to transform themselves. NIIT creates a really, really viable option to offer large organizations an ability to transform so that they can keep pace with the changes that are going on and stay ahead of the competition. NIIT Managed Training Services is positioned to take advantage of this opportunity as we look ahead. NIIT Managed Training Services has gained from the disproportionate investments it's made over its lifetime, specifically in sales and marketing to accelerate acquisition of new customers, as well as retention of existing customers on the back of the excellent services that we offer them. We've had 100% retention record of our customers for the last several years. We've invested in catching waves early, waves that change markets. NIIT's foundation was catching the IT wave in India. But now there are a number of other waves that are in the offing that we have to catch. Like I pointed out, decarbonization, digital transformation, AI, and many other waves are in the offing. And these waves are going to fundamentally transform how organizations do business. By investing early in these opportunities, we will create a platform for growth for NIIT Managed Training Services. Learning pedagogy, investments in technology have helped us differentiate from our competitors. We are able to show our customers the value that they get by investing in training. Training really is a difference between being able to do something or not being able to do something. Being able to stay within compliances or be under the wrath of regulators. I say that because of the presence we have of the chief regulator. But training is what enables you to be able to do something versus not being able to do something. And our investments in getting to the core of how learning works and how technology can enable learning in an accelerated way is what's helped us achieve success for our customers. And we will continue to make these investments with the responsibility that you have given us. We have a strong balance sheet. We have a very tenured management team that grew up as friends at NIIT. We have an aspiration to achieve leadership, global leadership in what we do. With your blessings and a little bit of luck, hopefully we'll hit it out of the park. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now please help me in welcoming on stage Ms. Kamala K, Chief Regulatory Officer, BSE. Very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Good morning to all of you, and it's indeed my pleasure to welcome you all to this function. And at BSE, listing functions are always a welcome and a happy occasion because we welcome newest babies onto our family of listed entities, and one such occasion is this. NIIT Learning Systems is soon going to be born in a couple of minutes from now. I congratulate the entire NIIT group team here and also contributing from behind for achieving this excellent, for achieving this excellent milestone. I think, every time a new company comes, it's an opportunity for various stakeholders to participate in such an event. We all know, famously it is said, change is the only constant in this uncertain world. But I would like to add two more things to it. Change is definitely a constant thing, but learning and adaptability are the two other components which are also constant, because without that you won't exist. And any company contributing in the field of education, in the field of building up human resources, capacity building, is also contributing to nation's development besides achieving its corporate objectives. So I was just reflecting on to myself. When I was pursuing my CA final in the year 1988, I always felt this animal called computer is something I don't understand. So how do I get going? And NIIT was the institution which helped me with the exposure to computer. And I did my one-year course in COBOL, Advanced Database Management System, and Lotus 1, 2, 3. Two of the three are already extinct in a sense. So, like I said, skill development is a constant feature in today's complex world. And every day we learn new things, and not to forget the impact that the technology is making. What we learned in our teenage or during our professional career, today's kids are learning in school days. So the change that we are going to expect also are far and many, and institutions like this can play a vital role in building skill set and capacity for the country. Of course, not to forget the contribution to the global arena from all these companies. So on this happy occasion, I congratulate the entire NIIT team. I also welcome all of you for this function. And NIIT learning system, though it is the newest baby, it has the pedigree of two other listed companies in the family. So we think as a stock exchange, governance and good integrity-oriented, character-oriented approach would be inbuilt into this new entity because of the legacy it carries. And I wish the new entity, the NIIT learning systems, all the very best. Thank you all very much for coming in for this function. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, to commemorate the significance of this event, we'll have an exchange of mementos. I request ma'am to please be on stage, and to receive the memento, may I request Mr. Rajendra Singh Pawar and Mr. Vijay K. Thadani to please come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, we'll be inviting other members to also please come forward. Mr. P. Rajendran, co-founder, NIIT and Joint Managing Director. Please come forward. Yes. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, may I request you to please be on stage? Yes, so please come. At the same time, I request Mr. Sapnesh Lala, Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer, NLSL, to please come forward. I request Mr. Ashok Arora, Group Finance Advisor, to please come forward. May I request Mr. Sanjay Mal, Chief Financial Officer, NLSL, to please come forward. May I request Mr. Sailesh Lala, Chief Business Officer, NLSL, to please come forward. May I request Mr. Devendra Chadda, Chief Customer Officer, NLSL, to please come forward. May I request Mr. Sanjeev Bansal, Chief Financial Officer, NIIT Limited, to please come forward. I request Mr. Deepak Bansal, Company Secretary, NLSL, to please come forward. And I request Mr. Kapil Saurabh, Vice President, Investor Relations, M&A, NLSL, to please come forward. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, I request now Mr. Rajendra Singh Pawar to please come forward to give memento to Ms. Kamala K, Chief Regulatory Officer, BSE. I request Indir Mohan Singh, Senior Partner, Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas, to please come forward. I'll be inviting Mr. Ravindra Singh, Non-Executive Independent Director, NIIT Learning Systems Limited, NLSL, to also please come forward. I request Ms. Avni Vishal Davda, Non-Executive Independent Director, NIIT Limited, to please come forward. I request Uday Pawar, Non-Executive Director, NIIT Limited, to please come forward. Now, thank you. To present the mementos, I'll be inviting Mr. Vijay Thadani to please come on stage to present the mementos. Thank you so much, sir, for doing the honors. And may I request Mr. Prashant Singhal and Mr. Sanjay Bachani, partners SR Motley Boy & Co, to please come forward. I request Ms. Surbhi Goyal, EY India, to please come forward. I request Divakar Pingle, EY India, to please come forward. And I will invite G. Girizar, Chief Business Officer, KFin Technologies Limited, to please come forward. And I request Vijay sir to please present the vote of thanks.
Well, I have to kill 3 minutes, so I will use this time to first of all talk about why we exist. Why we exist is because many of you put your trust in us, and hopefully we rose to the faith that you reposed in us. And whether it is the first NIIT student, I remember his name, Prem Malik, on 22nd of February 1981, who became a student, whether it was the first corporate organization, Forbes and Campbell, who put their faith in us and gave us the first contract to train their people. And likewise, the journey has continued. I have to keep looking at the watch. And each time, people trusted us, and we hopefully rose to the occasion. Today, once again, you trusted us and be here early in the morning despite many other commitments. And we thank you immensely for being with us at this point of time in this journey. With BSE, we have a long association. In fact, when the computerization of stock exchanges started, we had the opportunity to train many officials of the stock exchanges as well as the broking community. So today it's indeed a very interesting day for us that because of the computerization that happened, that we are all able to sit in this great hall. So at this point of time, I want to thank each one of you for being here and for the faith that you have reposed in us. A new journey is starting at this point of time, and I'm sure, once again, we will have you with us in this journey going forward. So thank you very much, and now we move on to the next part of the ceremony.
So please be on stage. I request you please be on stage as we're moving to a very historic moment. And for the gong ringing ceremony, I invite the following dignitaries: Ms. Kamla K. from BSc and Mr. Subhash Kelkar, Chief Information Officer, BSc, Mr. Rajendra Singh Pawar, Mr. Vijay, Mr. P. Rajendran, Mr. Sapnesh Lala, Mr. Sanjay Mal, Mr. Deepak Bansal, Mr. Shailesh Lala, Mr. Devendrajit Chadda, Mr. Ashok Arora, Group Finance Advisor, Mr. Kapil Saurabh, Vice President, Investor Relations, M&A, NLSL, to please come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, we moved to a very, very historic moment, just few seconds away from the customary countdown and for the listing. So just when we are 10 seconds away, we'll be having a customary countdown. Also, it's a kind request to all the guests and dignitaries to kindly be seated during the gong ringing ceremony for videography purposes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we all have been eagerly waiting for has finally arrived. And in just a few seconds, we will be reaching that moment. All right, just a few more seconds. We will be having to shout it together today. All right, let's start the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you so much. On that note, we are truly, truly grateful to BSE, the book running lead managers to the issue, members of the board, family and friends, well-wishers for joining us today for this really momentous occasion. Once again, hearty congratulations to NIIT Learning Systems Limited, which is now officially listed on the stock exchanges of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. Also, we have refreshments served in the adjacent hall right there, which is on the right-hand side of the stage. I request all the guests to kindly proceed there to enjoy yourself with some tea and coffee and refreshments. Thank you so much.
Yeah.